Hello ladies and gentlemen, Ben here, and if you're if you're just starting an AI automations agency, you're probably struggling, I know I certainly did, with how to price those automations. It's questions like, how much do you charge? What if the price is too high and I scare the client off? But what if the price is too low and I'm actually stuck working for scraps and not much money at all? I managed to scale my automations agency to 6 figures within 6 months using Make.com and AI and automation. But early on, I undercharged quite a lot. I was quite overworked and I made a lot of mistakes that could have killed my business before it even started. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can price and work out the price for your services, starting from beginner and also people who are a bit more established as well. And by the end, you'll know the best pricing models and which one fits you and your business, how to start getting paid, and how to charge premium rates, 5, 10, 50k per project. So let's get into it. But before we do, I'd just like to say a big thank you, because I've just got back from New York. I recorded about 10 videos before I went and scheduled them every day. I think I left for New York on about 20 subscribers, and I think now I've just reached over 300, which I never thought would happen. I only started this 2 weeks ago. So to all you guys subscribing, thank you very much, and all you commenting, thank you very much. I'm trying to get back to everyone in the comments. I'm pretty sure I have managed to do that, but let's keep it going. Let's break through the momentum. Cool. Anyway, let's get into it. So why is pricing so important? Your pricing actually decides everything. So if you're not charging enough to cover costs and make a profit, you haven't got a business, you're in a job, right? And clients will actually judge your value based off of your pricing. So if you're low pricing, they'll probably see you as cheap and replaceable. High prices, they'll see you more as an expert, someone who knows what they're on about and has sold a lot of these things before. If you charge too little and feel overworked, that's not value for time, right? But you charge correctly, you can focus on higher value clients and bigger deals, more money in your pocket, and being able to chase bigger deals in the future with all the social proof you've now got. Don't give pricing over email or phone. I know a lot of you, I certainly have before, have been subject to this mistake where someone replies to your email or you give someone a call and they just say, yeah, just send the pricing over, okay? You can't send pricing over without building some kind of gap, right, to where they are, to where they don't even know that they want to be, right? The prospect, that is. So the way I'd probably handle that is, well, as I'd say, like, yeah, we can go over all that for sure. I can send you the pricing in a proposal, but just so I'm sending over the right information and relevant stuff, what is it you'd probably be looking for in that proposal? And they'd probably give you a budget that they're working with, what exactly it is they might actually want based off of their initial idea from when you've emailed them. So you've emailed them, they've gone over it in their head about what it is you probably do, because obviously they don't have all the information. They've gone, okay, that might be able to help, and there is some interest there. So by asking this question, you'll be able to understand a bit more about what it is exactly, not exactly, but what it is they might have an idea of what they're wanting to see, and then you can play to that and sell on that. So once they give you the idea of either pricing or what it is they're wanting to see, you can sort of, something broke there, but we're back working now. Okay, so where was I? So once they've sort of told you what it is they may be wanting to see or what their budget is, you can go, okay, I understand now. What actually might make more sense for you, an emphasis on the for you, before I send over the pricing or the proposal, is if I understood a little bit more about what you're doing now to generate leads, if you're selling the lead generation system, what you're doing now to generate leads, just to see if there is a gap there, to see if we could even help, because you might not even need us. For example, right, what is it you're actually doing now to generate leads? And then you're back into the conversation, right? You're into a decent conversation. And you might be thinking, oh, why would he say, because you might not even need us? That really disarms the prospect. They already don't trust you enough. So for you to now, instead of being pushy, you're very indifferent and very calm, relaxed. They now probably will trust you more and disarm you. I've done it recently, actually. There was an email where a guy, he said, just give me a 30-second pitch about what we'll do. I said, well, how could I pitch you if you might not even need us? I don't even know what you do now and how long you've been doing it, because the results you're getting might be okay for you to carry on that way. We're less of a sales company and more consultative. We just love AI and the power it brings to businesses. His response was, here's my calendar. So he's gone from asking me to do a sales pitch to me sort of really disarming him, and then next thing we've got a call booked in for quite a large project. So the framework, the formula you want to use is value equals skills plus experience. So your skills obviously is your competence in building automation scenarios, because in my experience, a lot have been tailored to that specific company. Things need tweaking and stuff like that, and you need to test it. You need to know what you're doing. The experience, how long you've been doing it, how many customers and clients you've helped. So the better your skills plus the more projects you complete, the higher you can actually charge. But if you are just starting out, you need a strategy for how to price yourself correctly as you level up. I have said in previous videos, it's quite important, I think, for when you get started, just to get that first client in. You might be overworked and you might charge a bit less than you probably should, but at least you've got that first client in, you've got the social proof, and you can really kick on. But we've got more on that coming up. The 5 best pricing models. Hourly day rates, best for if you're new. I'd probably not go less than £100 to £150 per hour. It makes it easy for the clients to understand. The only con, I'd think, is that it punishes efficiency and your income is capped. So even if you are skillful, you know what you're doing, you do it quickly, you could end up giving a scenario away, an automation away for 300 quid, $400, whatever. It's okay to start with, but if you stick with that, you'll be trading time for money. I'd say use, maybe not even for your first 2, for your first project, and then move to project-based ASAP, which is actually primarily what I use anyway. Which is this. So it's a defined project like an AI chatbot, or just even blueprints that you've already done before, AI voice agents, and I don't typically charge less than $2,500, so that's about $3,000 per project. I don't go less than that. It's predictable and easy to pitch because you know what it is you're going to be selling this for, how much you've sold it for before, you know that it works, that clients will have it. I'd say a con is that it can potentially lead to scope creep and underpricing, meaning if things don't go to plan for you in terms of building the automation, it might take a little bit longer. Say if it goes over a week, you are underpriced because you've spent a lot more time on it, and then you're getting paid less. So scope creep is where they might come back to you and say, actually, I want this doing, I want this changing. Can we do this? Can we do that? Suddenly the price going up and up. Your time going on and up, but the price is staying the same. So if you've got the confidence again to be able to say this to the customer or the client, which you should, it's, look, if you're going to want to do this and this because this isn't what we agreed, the price is going to have to come up in parallel with that. And don't just guess. This is another thing I used to do, is just completely guess. I go, yeah, I can do that for $3,000. You have to actually calculate it. So how much time it's going to take you, how much it's going to cost you to build, and then the value that it's going to bring for the client. And that should be the cost of the project. The cost savings model, I do like this one as well. You're going to have to be a bit more competent in your sales skills and your questioning to be able to figure out how much time they're spending on something, how much that could potentially cost them. And then once you actually qualify it like so, it's a very easy sell. So I definitely would recommend it, because if an automation will save a company 50 grand a year, you can charge 25% of that. And how are they going to say no? You're going to save that amount of money, but it's going to cost you 12.5 grand up front. But over the course of a year, you'll pay that off in 3 months. And over the course of the year and years to come, you'll be reaping the rewards and driving ROI long into the future. So these are automations that replace or extremely diminish manual labor costs and time. So you want to use these qualifications. How much time does this process take that you're going to be automating? How much do they actually, no, it's a hard one to ask this, but how much do you pay them to do that tasks, or to how much are you paying them? You want their yearly salary basically, and then you can put that into ChatGPT. How much time does that process take? Find out their hourly cost from the annual salary that this person's paying them, and then money aside, how would you see this automation impacting you or your employee in the long run? And then that gets them away from the cost-based thinking, and they start thinking results and start getting a bit more emotionally involved in the conversation. Another great one for especially very large projects like AI voice callers, lead generation, ads. If you're going to say 100 hours a week company-wide, that's 5,200 hours a year. How much does that time actually cost you? Or if you're going to make them 100k a year in money instead of saving time, you can then charge 20% of that. And obviously a high earning potential is very easy to pitch. It's pretty much a no-brainer. Like I say, if this system's going to make you 100k a year, again, 20k, you'd pay that off in less than 3 months with this system. And that's probably what you want to be aiming for. You want the system to be paid off within 3 months. And a lot of these automations are very high ROI. It does require working out though, and like I mentioned before, just use ChatGPT, give it all the figures, including the implementation cost, and it will work out the ROI for you. And you can relay that back to the customer in quite a sexy graph or something like that. You can add a small monthly retainer to that as an upsell. You can say, look, this is tech and we are human, and it's viable to make mistakes and crash it sometimes. Would you like me on hand to fix it as and when it does? There's different sort of support offerings you can offer. You can do a monthly retainer. I sometimes do a bank call of hours, so they'll pay me £1,100, which is about $1,500, I think, or maybe a bit less than that. And they'll get 10 hours of my time within that. So it's a one-off payment, and I pretty much just charge an hour per thing I do anyway, unless it does take a lot more time than an hour, and which is really helpful and will be really good for you as well. And remember, you're selling growth instead of a service with these sort of things. You're not just selling them an AI voice caller or a lead generation system. You're selling them growth. This is a big opportunity for you to automate the growth of your business and scale effectively. MRR, monthly recurring revenue. Clients need ongoing support. This is tech, it's AI, it's still new, things can go wrong. So how do you feel about spending a small monthly retainer, probably £500 a month, depending on the automation, as a way of me being on hand as and when you need me to fix this automation if it was to go wrong, although we have tested it end to end and it will work. And something you need to remember here is you're the expert, so it's not a hard sell, it's a recommendation. It's something we recommend with a lot of our clients, is the option to have a monthly support package with us. So if anything was to go wrong, we're on hand straight away and you have priority over any other clients. That'll give you a predictable revenue, and at the start of every month, you're not going to start on zero, which a lot of people I know get quite concerned about, is the fact that every month is a stress, that they've got targets to hit, their own personal targets, and they start at zero, and they've got a cold outreach consistently every single day on income producing activities to be able to get money in that month to pay their bills or whatever it is. And it means your business will grow without constantly chasing new clients. Just think, if you had 10 clients on £500 a month, and you build it well enough so they don't even really need your support, and you do it on a 12-month contract, you've got annual recurring revenue there of it's going to be so simple. What would that, 500, 10 clients times 12, that's 60 grand a year. That's a wage, just for probably doing not too much. So to start with, do low cost work. So that's only if you have no experience, is just to get your first 1, 2, 3 clients through the door. If you're not really competent enough to sell the systems or tweak the systems and build the systems, and if you don't have any clients, just get it in, get the experience there. The first 2, 3, 4, well, to be fair, the first 10 you're still learning, so you need to get that first one in, because you'll learn the most from that. You could even offer a discount on the, if you want to sell it as a bigger service. So for $2,500, you could then offer a discount in exchange for a testimonial, and you can use that as social proof. Then this is something I've mentioned before, which is obviously what I still use, is project based. Don't go any less than 2.5k. You could use your own threshold, maybe don't go less than 3k. So this is about $3,000. That's your minimum charge. And get those through the door, start earning more, and start getting even more social proof, and it's going to become a lot easier to get your next few clients. And then once you feel like the project based, which is probably what I'm now changing into, is the more high value ones, right? The smaller projects won't be worth your time, mainly just because of the delivery and handover. The time it takes me to create documents, record the videos, end-to-end test. For 2.5 to 5, 6, 7 grand, it's taken my time away from the bigger projects or the opportunities that I have, and the problem solving that comes along with these bigger projects, more complex projects that are taking a lot of my time at the moment. So you want to focus on your high value projects on ROI. That's the easiest sell. So like I say, this is going to make you 100k this year. So what's 20k to you now? And pitch the cost savings or revenue uplift, like I just said. Okay, now that's pretty much it. Something I want to touch on that I don't think many people have is the mentality switch that you guys are going to need for pricing your automations. It's not just as simple as this is the price. You need to understand, even if you're not the expert, you are an expert, right? You need these prospects to know that you are the man or woman. You are the expert. You need to be confident. And this is why most beginners undercharge. I'm not talking about first client, second client, the first 10 clients, 15, 20. They're undercharging, not because the work isn't valuable, but because they don't believe in their own worth. They don't believe that they can do it. They don't believe that they're good enough. And it's so wrong. I hate to see it, guys. You need to be confident in what you're doing. In fact, I'll make myself big for this and just read it off. You guys don't need to read it. Yeah, cool. Be good if it worked. Yeah, so the price is about the value that you bring. It's not about you. So you're not selling yourself, you're selling the value. Not just the value you bring, but the value the automation brings as a whole. And the client, remember this is so important, the client is paying for a result. Who gets them the result? You do. You're getting them the result. You're getting them the extra 10, 15 high ticket leads each month. You're automating the workflow so they can spend less time doing X and more time doing Y income producing activities. So if you save them X, why wouldn't they pay Y? If you save them 10 grand a month, why wouldn't they pay 10 grand up front straight away? They'll make that back in 2 months, 3 months. If you make them X, why wouldn't they pay Y? This is something important as well. I want everyone to understand. If the camera would switch, that's nice. Change your internal questioning. Okay, so instead of why would they pay that amount? Why wouldn't they? Or instead of I can't do that, I can't build that automation. Why can't I? Change that questioning, guys. Change that mentality that you've got. Or I'm not experienced enough to charge more. No. The right way of thinking is I'm solving a valuable problem, and businesses pay for the results of solving that problem. They pay for the results that the solution brings. I think the only difference, this is my personal opinion, the only difference between someone charging £500 and charging £10,000 is confidence and positioning. You'll probably know what I mean by confidence in yourself, confidence in your ability to actually create these systems, but the way you position it. Don't be nervous on the calls, you might be internally, but on the outside, chest out, chin up, this is what you're explaining to them, this is the value this is going to bring to your business. Make them feel dumb not to buy it. Why wouldn't they? Track the impact of your work. So what I mean by this is keep in touch with the clients, make sure you're understanding the numbers that this is bringing them. They've spent X amount, but actually they're making Y amount a month now, extra. The return on investment, track that impact. And at the end of the day, what's the worst that can happen? You give them a price that's too low, they say yes and you're overworked. But if they say no to a price because it's too high, you've got loads of places to go. If you say if they say yes to a price that's too low, that's it. They've pressed, that's the final answer. If they say no to a price that's too high, you can handle that objection or negotiate. So what I mean by handling the objection is maybe act confused when they first say, no, that's too high. What? Too high? What? Being able to, and then go get them back into results-based thinking. What? So being able to do this and that, which we've already discussed on your discovery call, where I found out the problems you were having, that's not worth the amount, £5,000 right now, because you'll make triple that in 3 months. Just walk me through your thinking there. Sorry, I don't quite understand. Never split the difference. So what that means is, you say £5,000, they say £3,000. Okay, I'll meet you in the middle at 4. There's a book by Chris Voss. It's called Never Split the Difference. I recommend everyone reads that one. It's a great book as well, really interesting. It's not just about, it's about negotiation as a whole, but also this guy was an FBI, what are they called? FBI negotiator. So for with terrorists who were, or bank robbers, whatever, who had hostages held captive. He'd come in and he was the best one in the FBI in the whole of America. So if you don't believe in your value, clients won't either. You really, really have to believe in yourself here. I can't express this enough. You really need to believe in yourself. Charge based on outcomes, not self-doubt. Pretty obvious. And you will actually be shocked at how many clients happily pay premium prices when you confidently communicate and articulate the results that your solutions provide. I promise you, if you say it with your chest out and your chin up, and you say it with your chest, there's an aura. They just know that you're going to deliver. And you know that too, and you do everything you possibly can to actually get that over the line as well. And a little, a quote, a statement at the end: charge what you're worth. Cool. Well, I hope that helped you all. I think it just sort of shows that, or what I've tried to get across is pricing's not necessarily about how much work you do. It's the value that you guys provide, and that's what you've got to understand when you're pricing. You got to understand the results that you'll get the client and how much value you'll actually create. And if you don't charge what you are actually worth, then you'll never scale. And the key behind that is actually believing that you are worth something. And if you're trying to get high ticket clients, they'll never respect cheap pricing. I remember at the start, I used to try and sell the lead gen system for £750, and I actually lost more clients than I won in the first couple of weeks, because they probably just thought, what? Sounds like such a great system. It looks like such a great system. That sounds too good to be true. There's something not right there. Anyway, drop me a comment. You know, I'm replying at the moment. Let me know what pricing model you're using, or if you're struggling with it at the moment, if there's anything I can help with or explain better. And hit the subscribe button for more similar videos. But I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.